Today we're going to continue. We're going to continue in the Rambam. I didn't bring the copies because it's only 3-4 lines. Mela come in halten kop in the Rambam. So holding Perek Yud Beis, the last Perek of the entire Rambam, Halacha Beis. Amru Chachamim ein bein elam hazil lemeis Mashiach el shibn malchus bavad. There's no difference in this world and in Meis Mashiach, only the end of the subjugation of the Malchus, of the rulership of the Goyim, etc. We are not going to discuss this. We've spent many a share on this topic, and therefore we're moving right along. Continues the Rambam, Yeira'em bipshutam shel divrei hanavim. It would seem from bipshutam, from the simple reading of the words of the Nevi'im, that in the beginning of Yemais HaMashiach will be the war of Gog U'Magog. And today we're going to discuss a little bit this war of Gog U'Magog. War is always exciting, but what's exactly the war of Gog U'Magog? So it's very important before we discuss Gog U'Magog, the hemshech of the Rambam, without reading inside, because he gets into other things. He says it's also mashma from the Pashat of Psukim that before the war is going to be a Navi who's going to arrive and he's going to make the Yidden do tshuva and so on. And some people say that before Mashiach, Eliyahu Navi comes. Some people say not. And he says the bottom line is V'chol elu hadvarim v'kayetzebem. All of these things that he just mentioned. In other words, Gog U'Magog and Eliyahu Navi coming and when he's going to come. No one knows how they're going to be until they're going to be. That's the bottom line. You have people hacking and shining today to tomorrow, making movies, making things. The apocalypse. People are excited about this kind of stuff. Armageddon. He says they're very cryptic. They're stumin by the Nevi'im. He says you see so many stidus between the different midrashim. He says clearly there's no clear Kabbalah that this is exactly how it's going to be. Rather, they're basing darshaning the psukim. That's why they have machlekes in about this. In any event, the order of these events and the details, ikar badas, they're not foundational to the religion. They're not important to the religion, Judaism. And he says they don't bring to love, they don't bring to fear, etc. Fine. Nevertheless, of course, Gog U'Magog, the Rambam writes about it with a pshittis as if you know about it. Of course, anyone who's reading the Rambam knows what I'm talking about, Gog U'Magog. And actually, it's part of Yiddishkeit. And we actually read it in the Haftarahs on Sukkot every year. The first Haftarah, the first day of Sukkot, we read the Nevuah of Zechariah, chapter 14. Which is where he has the very exciting prophecy. One of the exciting psukim, just to mention, people's eyes are melting in their sockets. Very exciting. Perek Yudal and Zechariah. And then, of course, Yecheskel Hanavi has a ganze nevuah, and that we read on the Shabbos of Chol HaMoed Sukkos. Right? So now, what punct is the Shayches to Sukkos B'chlal? So, Machlekes Rishonim, Rashi, the Nemukei Yosef, and Masechta Megillah, where it says everything you read on the different days. Some people say it's because part of the Nevuah, it says what happens at the end of all this excitement. It says all the survivors and the Goyim and around the world are going to come every year on Sukkot. So it says, V'hoya kol ha'noisir mikol ha'goyim, V'olu midei shana b'shana, they're going to come up every year, le'hishtachavos l'melech Hashem tzvakis, v'lochigis chag ha'sukkos, to come celebrate Sukkot, which is why on Sukkot there is an emphasis on Goyim b'chlal. There's 70 karbanos for the 70 nations, and Hallelujah Hashem kol Goyim, Shabuchu kol ha'umim, which is what? The dignitaries coming to the Sukkah in Manhattan. I hear you. Hopefully they're going to come to the Sukkahs David, Sukkahs Levyasin, Lasalavi. Now we're getting a taste. But in any event, but other Rishonim say a whole different nekuda. Maybe it's even Ashi, or I don't remember which one says which. Who says that the connection is because Gog U'Magog is going to happen in Tishrei. That's when it's going to happen. Sukkahs, Tishrei time, and therefore we read it then. The Rebbe has a letter where the Rebbe says that if it's happening in Tishrei, I thought Mashiach's coming in Nisan. We always bring from the halacha and the araya with these different proofs. It's Machlekes Rabbi Yeshua and Rabbi Eliezer. When's Mashiach coming? In Nisan or in Tishrei? And the halacha is in Nisan. And the Rebbe is metavich. The Rebbe is oktavar that the Gula is going to begin in Tishrei. That before Mashiach comes begins the Milchemes Gog U'Magog, and then it climaxes in the Gula Shleima in Nisan. So here's the thing. The truth is, it's probably going to be more like two classes. So, because like I said before, every detail of Milchemes Gog U'Magog is a chelik of Torah. You have to make birchas HaTorah before you read this stuff. What's going to happen? Who's going to die? How they're going to die? This war, that war, and we have to figure out what exactly is the emes toichin of Milchemes Gog U'Magog. But instead of beginning with that, let's go from a different place, which is the some more external questions like, does it have to happen? Does it not have to happen? And so on. And is it going to happen? Are we waiting for it to happen? And so on.
Has it happened?
Has it happened? Exactly. So here's the thing. The Rambam said Holocaust is a svara. You should know that actually the Belzerov, Rebbe Helikiyid, he used to say that the Holocaust, he himself was a survivor, of course, lost his family. He said that the Holocaust was Milchemes Gog U'Magog. He says, what's it mean you're going to fight a war on Yerushalayim? It means you're going to fight a war against the Yidden, the Etzim of the Klal Yisrael, and it says something about a third of Yidden being wiped out. The Grada was 18 million Jews before the war. 6 million Jews were killed. There's what to say there. The Holocaust is a thing. There's a Yechidus of the Rebbe in the early Lamids. I forget with who. The Rebbe was talking with him. The Rebbe said that every Yerida needs an Aliyah. Every downfall needs a Aliyah from it. So the Rebbe said, "What's the Aliyah from the Holocaust?" So the guy said, "Maybe Eretz Yisrael." He tells the Rebbe. So the Rebbe tells him, "It's not Aliyah Yerida. That's whatever." The Rebbe told him. But the Rebbe said, "Ich will nicht mevater sein. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to be mevater. The only Aliyah in the Holocaust is the Gula." Right? The only possible aliyah from such an event like the Holocaust is that. But you're going to see in a second. So it's interesting actually in Melech B'Mesiba, which is one of the least accurate sfarim of the Rebbe's Torah. So everything there has to be taken, with a lot of grains of salt. But still, things aren't completely made up, of course. Over there, it records a conversation of the Rebbe in Achrin Shel Pesach Tashin Lamed that the Rashag asked the Rebbe by the meal, what's going to be with Milchemes Gog U'Magog? Did it happen? Did it not happen? Is it going to happen? He wanted information about Gog U'Magog. So the Rebbe told him, there's two nekudas l'chayda out of what the Rebbe says there. One word the Rebbe told him is first of all, the Rebbe told him, the Eishayim, some people say that World War I was Gog U'Magog. Wow. The Rebbe said that during World War I, there was one of the main people, their name was Goig or something. I didn't do the research to find out where that came from and whose name sounded like Goig. So the Rebbe says Goig. So maybe World War I. And the Rebbe told him a word also that Bechlal, it says in the Gemara in Sanhedrin that Hashem wanted to make Chizkiah HaMelech Mashiach and Sancheriv, who was invading Gog U'Magog. And then, of course, we know what didn't happen because he didn't thank Hashem, he didn't sing Shira, a Gemara. So the Rebbe seems to say over there that it seems from that Gemara that it's not set in place who Gog U'Magog is. In other words, Hashem could turn Sancheriv that you're Gog U'Magog. You're fighting the Yidden.
Malleable.
It's interchangeable. There's actually a Malbim that I found. In one of the Psukim in Yechezkel, it states in Perek Lamed it's Perek Lamed Ches Lamed Tes in Yechezkel, the whole Nevuah, really from Lamed Vav even, Lamed Vav to Lamed Tes, a few prakim about the Gog U'Magog. So Yechezkel has a pasuk in Lamed Ches, pasuk Yud Zayin. It says, "Ko yamar Hashem Elokim," so says the Lord. Ha'ata hu asher dibarti b'yamim kadmonim. Are you the one that I spoke about in the yamim in the ancient days? The yad avodai nevi'ah Yisrael, in the hands of my servants, the nevi'im of Yidden. So the Malbim zogt, as in other words, it's not set in stone. He said, "It's kilu. You're the one who I spoke about." Similar to what the Rebbe is saying over here, that it's not set in stone who punkt Gog U'Magog is going to be, etc. It's not so pashut though, this word really, because I was checking up Alpi Chassidus, and then like I said, I don't want to get into right now what the war is, punkt, and what the meaning of the war is, Alpi Chassidus and Alpi Nigla, the Gashmias. But it looks like that Tzemach Tzedek's Maimorim, if you look in Ur HaTorah, that it was Dafkes on Cherev. It wasn't like any bad guy fighting the Yidden is all of a sudden could be counted as Gog U'Magog. The whole war of Gog U'Magog is against the Eibishter. There's a special klippa of Sancheiriv. There's the klippa of Parei. There's the klippa. There's three ways you can rebel against Hashem. And this is mamish the same klippa as Gog U'Magog and so on. In general, Gog U'Magog, what's Gog U'Magog? Gog is the king, and Magog is supposedly the country. It talks about all the nations of the world coming together. So apparently the gematria of Gog U'Magog is 70 also. I don't know if you're mathematicians, but Gimel Vav is 9, 12. So Gog U'Magog. So Gog U'Magog is 70 because there's 70 nations. Okay. So now Azoi. The Rambam said that it's mashma from Pshutim. It's funny, by the way, because the Rambam himself, the Nevuah is clear. There's a lot of details in the Nevuah. Why is the Rambam says no one knows how anything's going to be until it's going to be? What do you mean? I know how it's going to be. So shteit doch. Clearly there's something deeper happening. The core of what Gog U'Magog is relevant to today is that this is the final reckoning between good and evil. Okay? In the end of days, after all is said and done, the Rambam says it's mashma from the Pashtus Aksum that it's betchilas Yemois HaMashiach, which, by the way, what does that mean? Not before Mashiach comes. It's mashma from the Rambam because think about all the simonim of the Geula of Mashiach. That wasn't one of the simonim. Hitaka spoke about V'yilchem Mechames Hashem, but it's clear from everything that Rebbe speaks about it, and we had a few shiurim on that V'yilchem Mechames Hashem. It's not referring to Mechames Gog U'Magog. That's not. Those are miraculous wars that the Eibishter fights. And it's the final thing between good and evil. It's not one of the simonim of Mashiach. The Rambam, when the Rambam is writing about this, it's chilas yemois HaMashiach, but Pasha is after everything is said and done. And clearly, also, by the way, if you look in the Nevuahs, the Yidden are already living in Eretz Yisrael. The Yidden are in Eretz Yisrael, and the Goyim are coming from around the world to fight them. And the Eibishter already brought them to Eretz Yisrael. So, there's an earthquake, a mountain splits in half, Har HaZeisim, very good. But in any event, the bottom line is, though, according to the Rambam, what's the last stage to know Mashiach Vadai? How do you know he's Mashiach Vadai? Kibbutz Golius. The very last event that happens to be Mashiach is Kibbutz Golius. Right? So after Kibbutz Golius happens, it's mashna from Pashtus Aksuvim that in Tchilas Yemois HaMashiach, the war of Gog U'Magog takes place. And this is the final reckoning. And I found in unbelievable Zohar. And I'm shocked, 27 years old, my entire life I've yet to have heard the Zohar before. And it's shocking because, I want my money back from going to yeshiva. Because such a Zohar, not to have heard of the Zohar is not to be believed.
13 years will be 40.
Head over, this to Gleiben.
You can go through it yourself.
I go through the Zohar myself. So the Zohar says Azoy. Head over. It's darshaning the psukim. It's in Parshas Beshalach. It's darshaning the psukim in Daf Nun Ches. So it's darshaning the psukim on Az Yasher. And the Zohar is basically saying that the shida of Az Yasher is the eternal shida of the Jewish people. This is the shida we're going to sing when Mashiach comes. And if you study the psukim, it's not referring dafka to Mitzrayim. It's referring to everything happening in the Geula. Right? It says shidasa da alminhi. This is the eternal shida. And on the pasuk Taharis Kamecha, you're going to destroy those who rise up against you. Rabbi Yitzchak Amar. Rabbi Yitzchak says, Haikra b'shaita di Yislabish kutshabricha go'usa ala mimaya. This is at the time when Hashem enclosed himself in go'usa, in like gaiva, over the nations. The Yiskanshon alei, which are gathering against him. K'mad d'chsiv, v'reiznim nois yachad. Like it says in the pasuk, v'reiznim nois yachad. Before we continue the Zohar, there's many references which say that the second kapitel of Tehillim is actually referring to Milchemes Gog U'Magog. It's mashma azay klar in the Gemara in many places. That was the beginning, and it says, Lama ragshu goyim u'lo'umim yagurik. Why do the nations gather and people speak nonsense? Yisyatzvu malchei eretz, yisyatzvu. That the kings of the earth get up and the rulers are conspiring noistu al Hashem ba'al Mashiach, against Hashem and against his Mashiach, inatkis meiseseme, and so on. So when we get back to that kapitel in a moment, continues the Zohar. They're rising up against Hashem. And it says, the whole world gathers up against to wage war against Yerushalayim Irakadesh. Ulacha the eitzin alei the kuchabrichu to get together in an eitzah in a plot against the Eibishter. And they say, let's fight against Hashem first, and then we'll fight against His people. Okay. Continues the Zohar, and then it says, then Hashem responds. Hashem's laughing, like the pasuk continues, Yoshev Hashemayim Yischok, the one who's sitting in Shemayim is laughing at them. And Hashem will enclose Himself in Go'usa, V'yisheitzinu, and Menamaho will annihilate them from the world, K'modichsiv, V'zayis Tziyah HaMagefa, like it says in the pasuk. Now for the bombshell. Rab Abba Omar Mishmei Rabbi Yosef Saba. Rab Abba said in the name of Rabbi Yosef Saba, V'hachi Omar Rab Shimon, and this is what Rab Shimon Yochai said. Zamin Kudshabrichu, the Eibusher is going to La'achoya D'chol Inun Malchin D'Okul Yisrael. The Eibusher is going to bring B'Mechaya Mesim any of the leaders or any of the bad people who did Tzadis to Yidden throughout all the generations. V'Yerushalayim, bring them up to Yerushalayim. V'Yiskanshin Imayin Shar Cham, and together with them they're going to gather Rishoyim from the other nations. V'Zamin, and then it starts listing an example. The Zohar starts giving examples of the Rishonim who are going to arise in the great Muhammad against Yerushalayim, Gog U'Magog. Who are they? It says, for example, Andriyanus is going to come, the one who annihilated Beitar. Right? Andriyanus, the Gemara always says, Andriyanus Shchikat Somes, Hadrian. Right? May his bones be grinded. Lufinus, he's the guy, Lufinus is the emperor who killed the Asari Harugi Malchus. Nebuchadnezzar, Ulasan Cherev. Going back, hundreds of years, one at a time. And all the other Malchin who destroyed the Beis Hamikdash and others, like we said a moment ago. And the Eibusher is going to give them back their power, all of their gaiva, and all of their feeling, their smugness, and their arrogance, and their evil. Kikadmisa. And Kudshabrichu, the Eibusher is going to going to exact revenge from them be'izgali in a revealed way. The Mefarshim say revealed way, meaning in begali in a guf and nefesh, not like it was till now in Gehennim, which is be'izkasia. It's going to be the punishment be'izgalia in a revealed way. A sachrane Yerushalayim, surrounding around Yerushalayim. Hado d'chsev, that's what it means. This is going to be the Magefa, and it says against the Goy, the enemies, Asher Tzavu, who gathered against the Yidden. It doesn't say who are going to gather. It says who gathered in the past. Lashon Avar. Asher you must El Asher Tzavu Yitzvu Leiksiv El Asher Tzavu. And he says that's Pshav Reiv Gein Chataris Kamecha. What is this Zohar essentially saying? It's saying a Vildazach, that all the enemies of Klal Yisrael, they say we're going to have the final reckoning. Is in this episode we're going to gather the Wall Street, the innocent goyim in Manhattan. It's not annihilating. It's much deeper and more powerful and profound. Whatever the pshat is, the reality is that all the Rishoyim, all the emissary Rishoyim, all these people, we're going to have there's something special about Gashmias, beguf, begalia, beizgalia in the lashon of the Zohar, beguf and nefesh, of the match down, the final destruction of the nitzachon of Toiv over Ra. And the Eibusher says the outcome is v'hiskadilti v'hiskadishti le'enei kol hamim, the emissary yiskadav yiskadash meidaba, nicht the Holocaust, but the opposite. Now, in general, it does describe tremendous upheaval and tremendous tzaris in a way. So I've seen many people quote a Kabbalah in the name of the Baal Shem Tov. At Kilu doesn't have to happen. I've seen it in a few Svarim, and they write Kabbalah mit Abisenu HaKadoshim. It could be they mean the Baal Shem Tov. I haven't found Mefurish anywhere written saying the name of the Baal Shem Tov. Right? So the most famous place people quote from is from the Shem Shmuel. It was the Sachchaver, right? He's the son of Avnei Nezer. But in the Shem Shmuel, he writes these words. He says, Kabbalah mit Abisenu HaKadoshim, that now that the Galus took so long, we've become niftarnu mi Mochemes Gog U'Magog. We're pater from Mochemes Gog U'Magog. The Galus has been 1950 years at this point. And he says, Achar Kibbutz Golius, Yeshua Yisrael b'menucha al ad Moseinu la'elam. After Kibbutz Golius, we're going to be in Eretz Yisrael la'elam b'menucha. If you look over there in the original Sefer, he writes a shtickle more barichis avart, that it says that the Galus of Mitzrayim was actually supposed to be for 400 years. Lemaisa, it went 210 years. The Gemara says the Koishi HaShibud, it was such a Shvera Shibud that it was as if the Golus lasted, it was as if you were in Golus for 400 years. That's how painful that's how painful it was. So the word that he writes over there in the Sefer is that it's the same thing in the reverse. If Koishi HaShibud, if the difficulty could take the place of the amount of years, then the amount of years could take over the place of Koishi HaShibud. So he says we've been in Golus for over 1900 years. And trust me, we had some koishi along the way also. But But he's writing a different nekuda. He's saying the arichas hagolus is in place of the koishi, of the difficulty that we would have to experience.
Yeah, they escape the Milchemes Gog U'Magog.
Who would have to escape?
He's, like you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He writes this in Shem Yishmul in Tafresh Ayins, which is pretty late, and I saw it in the Sfas Emes in Mem Beis. So for all I know, he's quoting Rabbi Seinu Agdoshim, the Sfas Emes. This is the Kabbalah about it. But Bechlal, this vart, and not everything it says, the bad parts, have to happen. That's a davar achi pasha to anybody, because every bad nevuah, A, doesn't have to happen, but B, what's the kavanah of the nevuah? You have to understand the kavanah of the nevuah. It's not like we want blood and gore, or we want our money back. That's not how it works. What?
By definition, Gog U'Magog means bad for Yidden. Yidden are going to suffer.
If you read the nevuah, there's shvera zachen that says in the nevuah. That's the bottom line. Right? When it says in Zechariah, no, we're not going to get into it right now, but when it says in Zechariah the city of Yerushalayim is going to be conquered and half the Yidden and Shochavno Habonis and Chveis Shvas, it's not good in Yonim, right? So we have to figure out what's Bechlal, okay, so Bechlal does not, okay, so what's the Nekud of Gog U'Magog? The Nekud Bechitzonius, without going deep, is the nekuda is that the only way to have a massive change, you need a revolution. You need blood. You need gore, right? If you want real change, people have to die. Things have to have. The whole world has to turn upside down, right? And the bottom line is that there was. That's the vart. That's what it means. That vart. That if you want to have a revolution, it has to happen. If you have the revolution over a meshach zman and over a long time, zicher me'meitnish dafke, I need the blood and I need the gore and I need this and I need that. That wasn't eila ladas b'chlal. That's the kavanah. That's what the Rambam says. That no one knows how it's going to be until it's going to be. That we're going to discuss more next time. The Rebbe, perhaps in conclusion. The Rebbe has a sikh about Gog U'Magog the Rebbe talks about it in Pesach Sheni Tavshin Mem. In Pesach Sheni Tavshin Mem, the Rebbe was speaking about it, and the Rebbe basically said that you didn't have nothing to worry about. That was the bottom line of the sikha. And the Rebbe was connecting it with two Gemaras. So the Rebbe quoted a Gemara the following: Amar Rabbi Yechanan Mishum Rabbi Shimon Yechoya Brachis Dav Zayin. He says, "Kasha tarbus b'seich beis shel adam, yes tarbus ra b'seich beis shel adam yesim Milchemes Gog U'Magog." A person having kinder who are going off the derech, tarbus ra, bad things happening, is worse than Milchemes Gog U'Magog. He says, "How do I know? Because if you look in the third kapitel in Tehillim, when it talks about the tzaris he has from his son Avshalom, he says, Hashem marabu tzarei, right? Bevarchim b'pnei Avshalom b'noi. He says, Hashem marabu tzarei. How much tzaris do I have? Rabim kamu olay. It's so terrible." But yet, in the previous kapitel, Zakir Shimon Yechoy, when it talks about Milchemes Gog U'Magog, ksiv, Lama rag shu goyim ulu'umim yagurik. Why are the goyim getting excited and the nations yagurik, conspiring in vain? Don't they know that who they're messing with? Hashem is laughing at them. V'ilu marabu tzari like ksiv, Zakir. And Rashi explains, what do you mean yagurik? Zakir Rashi, ma tayelis lahem. They were just saying, what tayelis do they have? Alma davar kalhu be'enav. We see that it's a davar kal, that it's nothing serious, it's not real tzaddis. It's not real tzaddis. So the Rebbe read that the Yidden have nothing to worry. The whole word of Gog U'Magog, like you said before, Taka doesn't have to affect the Yidden. The point is the revolution. And the Rebbe seems to be saying that in different places in Torah Shabbal Peh, it's mashma klor. Not only we're suggesting that maybe the bad nevuah doesn't have to happen. Nochmer, it's mashma in Torah Shabbal Peh for Sheneta that befedish it's not going to happen. That the Yidden are that the Eibishter is mamish laughing at the place. Well, first of all, this Gemara that we just quoted. Second of all, the Zoya that I quoted to you before. Right? It's very interesting. I actually don't know the Makkah yet, but the Rebbe in the Sikh over there in Pesach Sheni, the Rebbe says, it says in Yecheskel, the Rebbe says, what's going to happen? The Rebbe says, it means Saviv Yerushalayim, the Rebbe says. It means they're going to come around Yerushalayim. And the Rebbe says, Yerushalayim, not that it has to affect Yerushalayim Begashmias, and not even Yerushalayim Beruchnias, which means Yerushalayim, and so on. It's Saviv Yerushalayim, not in Yerushalayim. So I didn't understand, Punk, because there is such a nevuah about entering Yerushalayim, conquering Yerushalayim. But in any event, I saw someone was mitzaying to got to the Zoyar, where it says they're going to have their downfall Sachrane Yerushalayim, around Yerushalayim. So Vinar Mizol Leonard Pshat, clearly we have a Zoyar which says that the downfall is happening around Yerushalayim, and it's not about the Yidden getting hurt at all. And also the Gemara in Brachas that we just quoted, Yegurik, Lama Rog Shugoyim. And then the Rebbe says that Rab Shimon ben Yochai is the Bala member over here, and Grade, the Zoyar that I quoted to you, is also, it's said in the name of Reb Shimon. This is all Reb Shimon always talking, very interesting. And by the way, Grade, now we're mentioning Reb Shimon, there's a famous line from the Zoyar, which is quoted 1.5 million times by the Rebbe and by Chassidus. It says, B'hai chibur diloch di'iu sefer, with your chibur, which is Sefer HaZoyar, yipkun bei min galusa berachamim. They're going to go out of galus berachamim. That's what it's coming to say, berachamim. That in mercy, not through a painful transition of death and tremendous tzaris, but rachamim. So maybe that's the revolution. Befrat with true, but befrat with the Kabbalah of Rabbi Seinu HaKadoshim that the Shem Yishmuel is bringing. The Arichas Hagalos. You understand? If we study history a little, maybe we're going to do that another time. It's fascinating. But the world, Kemedzagin, that we're much more ready for Mashiach. If Mashiach would have come 2,000 years ago, you need to take the pagans and you'd have to crush and destroy half the people, and the other half you bring them up. You have to teach them things. But the bottom line is, in any event, the Rebbe quotes a place, and the Rebbe seems to be saying that Reb Shimon's the Baal HaMemra. The truth is, it's a Braisa, and there's no name by the Braisa. So maybe there's a Braisa somewhere in Shas or somewhere in Medrash that I don't know that this is a statement from Reb Shimon ben Yochai. But it's a very famous Braisa, and it's brought in the Gemara in Megillah. It goes through the order of Shemini Esrei, why it's that order. And it says that it goes through why the seventh brach is Goyal Yisrael. And it speaks how that the Shemitah, Shavua Shemelech HaMashiach Ba, the Shemitah, the 7-year period that Mashiach is going to come in. So it says what's going to happen every year of the 7 years. And it says in the 6th year is Koilis. They're going to hear voices of Koilis, hearing about Mashiach coming. And then Ubeshnas Hashrias, this is the Gemara in Megillah, Milchamos. And Umeitzai Shvi is Ben David Ba. So the Gemara asks, so why is the 7th one the Geula? The 8th one is Geula, right? And the Gemara answers that the 7th is a Schalta de Geula. The Milchamos is already a Schalta de Geula. So the Rebbe, in the words of the Rebbe in the Sikha, the Rebbe says, Vas is the Nechame from Milchamos. You're telling me that the Geula begins in Milchamos, in Shvi. The Rebbe says, "Das the Milchamos, das the Milchamos." So the Rebbe says, "Das is the words of the Rebbe. Das is the Milchamos was Rog Shugayim. This is the Milchamos of Yagurik. The Milchamos that Reb Shimon Yochai is speaking. He's saying these are Milchamos that we have nothing to worry about. On the contrary, this is the and the Rebbe. It's very interesting. So, gerade interesting to note, the year Tashemem was a Shnas HaShemitah. So the Rebbe was also Kilu encouraging the concept. And if you look in the Sikha, the Rebbe says, Amaisa in Afghanistan, the Rebbe says. Apparently there's a war then in Afghanistan, Russia with Afghanistan. The Rebbe says, Apil Pulahin, Arogshu Aher, Arogshu Da, and Arogshu Darton. The Rebbe says, Yidden have nothing to worry about. I don't know if the Rebbe was giving up Nevuah, Ruach HaKodesh, and saying that Afghanistan, now Chassidim of the Rebbe, now we know that Afghanistan was Mochammed's Gog U'Magog. I don't think that was the Rebbe's Kavanah. I think the Rebbe's Kavanah was that no one, like the Rambam saying, no one knows how it's going to be until it's going to be. One thing we do know, that the Yidden have nothing to worry about. The world goes through its turmoil, is going through its Rog Shugoyim, and you don't know what they're planning against Yidden, not planning against Yidden. Ultimately, Yidden are safe and in good hands. and they don't have to worry about it. Ultimately, like the Rambam said, ultimately what it's going to be, if it's the way it's described in the Zohar here, who's not looking forward to that moment? What a beautiful moment in Jewish history, where we're going to get Gog U'Magog and see the downfall of all the Rishei Yisrael, all the Rishei Akum, all the tremendous enemies of the Bnei Yisrael, the Yidden. And when we zeichet the Gula Mitzvah Shleima, and to conclude just on a light note, there's a Medrash Agada, which darshans the whole episode of the last few days of Noach and the Teva, that it's going on the Golius, and he's sending out the Yoina, which is Bnei Yisrael, and so on. So over there it says that the Ali Zayis Taraf Befi, it has Azayis, the bitterness of the Zayis in its mouth, of the olive. It's going on the Golus Bavel in the 7 days, because Hashem says, I'm going to punish you Sheva al Chatoiseichem, 7 times fold for your sin. And then it says, so he says, he waited another 7 days, and it says, what are the 7 days? These are the 7 nations Shenimsru biyad, which were given over to the Yidden. Mitzrayim, Sancheir, Bavel, Madi and Yavan, Edom, Yishmael. Yishmael is listed over there as one of the Golus in Interessante Sugi B'fnei Atzmei. B'chlolos Edom is when Golus Edom, but in many places it says, it's brought even in my Marim, the Reb Marash, way before any conflicts with anybody. The idea that we're gonna have a Golus Yishmael, Shen Yadua, Yishmael and Goig. These are the 7 days. And then how does it conclude the episode? By Yishlach HaSayena, he sends away the Yaina, the Lashon of the Medrash. Shenishtalchu Yisrael mi beineim, the Yidden are saved from all of them. And Goig is the final one. V'lo yosfa shuv elav oid, it says in the passage. It doesn't come back anymore. Meaning, sheyinatzlu Yisrael mi mulchemes oig, says the Medrash. The Yidden are saved from mulchemes oig. V'lo yosifu liglois oid. They won't have any more golos for the rest of their history. V'lo yosfa shuv elav. After these 7 days, there's no coming back. The Yaina is a free bird flying about in the most beautiful way. And Shkech now.